Dear Evan Hansen is about two high school students trying to find their place in school. In this day and age, students not only have to deal with situations in school or at home, they also need to find their way online as well. This musical has gotten numerous awards. In 2017's Tony Awards, they won 6 awards and had 3 nominations in other categories. For some of you who might not know, Tony Awards is like the Oscars for theatre productions. To win an award, it's an honour itself. Apart from receiving many awards, the Smithsonian National Museum of American History has recognized the musical as part of America's cultural heritage. If you were to go to the museum, you'll find iconic artifacts from the musical displayed there. Allow me to share my thoughts on this musical from the perspective of a social worker. But before I continue, let me share that there are spoilers. So let's get started. Now, I'm a social worker in a youth agency. I help youths to improve their resilience and reduce the risk that would cause them to function negatively. In recent years, the training needs that youths face are mental health and bullying. Not only do they have to cope with the stresses faced at home and school, youths will also need to find a way to cope with the online environment as well. From social media to online games, youths now have to navigate through an environment that their parents and teachers are not exposed to at their age. Cyberspace can be a confusing place. On one hand, it can be a place of fun and laughter. Some of the youths shared with me that cyberspace allows them to bond with their friends, wherever and whenever they are. Cyberspace also provides an avenue for youths to rest from their stresses. On the other hand, cyberspace can also be a place of negativity and addiction. Despite the advice of many to not talk to strangers, youths continue to do so. And the age of them doing so is getting younger and younger. Some youths can even spend their entire weekend playing online games and neglecting other aspects of their life, such as their hygiene, studies, and family. This is why I feel that Dear Evan Hansen is relatable to youth today. It touches on the positives and negatives of social media. In this musical, social media has helped a family to cope with the loss of a son, Connor. Social media has also helped a socially awkward lead actor, Evan Hansen, find a sense of belonging and worth in the online world. On the flip side, Evan let fame got into his head. He was more concerned keeping up with his persona built around his fabricated online presence than being present with his online world, such as his mother and his friends. What's so alluring about social media that makes Evan desire it more than his online relationships? Even Jared, Evan's accomplice and friend, wanted out. He couldn't live with the lie, what more being treated disrespectfully by Evan himself. Yes, the socially awkward Evan is now hurting others with his lie. Why does Evan want to continue with his lie? Erikson, a psychologist, came up with a theory. His theory is that different people have different unconscious desires at different stages of their lives. And if the individual is unable to successfully fulfill that desire, it will have an effect on their development in later stages in life. In the case of Evan Hansen, he belongs to the life stage of adolescence. Erikson theorized that the unconscious desire for an adolescent is to form an identity. The big questions that each youth face are, who am I? And where am I heading in life? This is why youths tend to explore different versions of themselves. Perhaps this might explain Evan's behavior. Initially, socially awkward Evan lied just to get out of an uncomfortable situation. However, as time went on, Evan's lie got him more attention and recognition from his peers. There were multiple times that Evan contemplated stopping his lie. But as revealed in the song Disappear, The reason why Evan carried on with the lie is that he does not want to be forgotten. He prefers this version of self than the socially awkward self. Another theme that this show brings out is the various way of dealing with grief and loss. This is seen by how Connor's family dealt with his suicide. According to Kübler-Ross, people typically go through 5 distinct stages of grieving of the loss of a loved one. The first stage is denial. This is expressed by Connor's dad, Larry. Even when Evan was sharing about the memories he had with Connor, Larry did not seem keen to hear. He would rather keep to himself than revisit the memories of Connor. The second stage is anger. This is expressed by Connor's sister, Zoe. She gets easily triggered whenever the family talks about Connor. The third and fourth stage is bargaining and depression respectively. These stages were not so clearly seen in the musical, so I will not talk much about it. But eventually, each of the family members arrive at the fifth stage, which is acceptance. Ironically, their process of acceptance and recovery happened through the support garnered through social media. I really like this musical. The themes brought out are so relevant to the lives of the youths that I work with. Is it a family-friendly musical? Well, it depends. There are vulgarities and crude language, especially in the song Sincerely Me. My guess is that such words are nothing new to a youth. They would have probably heard it from their peers in school. So it's up to you to decide whether this musical is family-friendly or not. In fact, I think this musical gives parents a glimpse of the tension youths experience in forming their identity and navigating through the online environment. It might even spark many meaningful conversations with your child after. Yep, and we're done. Thank you for staying through all the way. Please leave a thumbs up if you like what I'm doing. Until next time, take care.